Summoning the magical sleigh, the protectors of the past flew out of the open window of Castle Corstal, a giant golden dragon nipping at their heels. As they flew over the Ragesian army, Princess Shalosha cast Fly on herself and joined the party in their escape. The dragon caught up and the battle was fierce, but the foe was felled as Deception watched on from the castle. Landing far from the Ragesian army, Shalosha revealed to the party that Ragesian General Magnus, Coltung's right-hand man, was in rebellion against Leska. As someone desiring peace and unification amongst the nations, Shalosha considered Magnus an ally. When asked of her father, Lord Shaladel's plans, the princess said he is desperate to find the torch and supplant Leska. Good, you're using big words.
I always use big words, thank you very much.
Shalosha took a look at Darius's bloody prophecies and recognized a section. Bright Shadow was a weapon wielded by a legendary Terranesti warrior named Ruark. It was a two-handed scimitar like the one wielded by one of the assassins who captured Coltung and the torch from Castle Corstal. His home was
Isengled first.
Okay, Isengled first. Sorry. I got everything, damn it. A place in northern Shahalesti where 5 rivers converge and a place connected to Myetharia's dark past. Believing this to be their next destination, Shalosha offered to ferry the party to Seaquen, where they could recuperate and prepare for the next leg of their journey.
Nice.
Yay!
Hold on. I got this.
Oh god.
Don't, Justin.
And she didn't even burp.
Now we're gonna find. Yeah, that's true. Now we're gonna find out if that actually gets picked up in the recording or not. My guess is it doesn't, but we'll find out.
No idea.
For everyone else, Justin just played a clapping sound effect from a Discord soundboard. Discord.
Soundboard.
You're gonna make yourself start coughing again. Shush.
There it is. So, with the sleigh kind of depowering at this point in time, after you guys had flown for a while, yep, and being too unwieldy to do anything with at this point, you have about a day and a half trek across land to get to the waterfront where Shalosha says that her boats are that we can take.
Here, this'll date this episode really nicely. It's like when you're flying on a craft that you build in Zelda and you run out of battery and it just drops out of the air. That's Zelda
date
Tears
it
of the Kingdom.
really well by referencing something that is 3.5 months old.
No, for when people
In
are
the
listening.
future.
It takes me a long time, man.
When the alien overlords show up and start going through everything on YouTube.
Deal. Okay. Yeah.
Did
Yep.
we? How long of a trek was it on the sleigh? Like after the
An hour.
dragon?
An hour. Mhm.
Okay.
So you're sure we can long rest? We can long rest.
Well, technically, you short rested at this point in time. But unless there's going to be something significant that happens along this walk,
Going back.
the next day and a half is spent with Shalosha in the lead, leading you west through Sindare towards the water on the western edge of the continent, I guess we can call it.
Peninsula.
Say this is a peninsula. This is more just a.
The majority of
It
what you
all
travel
does.
through is open land, largely flat. Sindare is not exactly the roughest of areas, as long as you're staying away from the mountain ranges. And as you start getting closer to the waterfront, it starts to get a little bit more populated. You know that largely their population is kind of centered around the cities, but there are a healthy number of towns that dot the western coastline, which is used pretty predominantly with trade. So by the time that you make it towards the waterfront, there are a handful of small towns, and Shalosha kind of leads you through one of them with a handful of houses, a couple of inns, this sort of situation, where off the coast, a 3-ship party of Shahalesti warships are anchored out at sea.
So we didn't spend the night in any like inns or anything. We just camped outside, like camped somewhere where it was I guess, sparse. And then as we were walking the next day, we started getting closer to the coastline.
That's more what I was thinking, yeah. Like one night of camping, and then by the time that it's getting towards sunset, you're arriving basically at this town on the waterfront the next day.
Shoot. I thought I should have looked up the spell before I did this, but do we have permission to do some role playing right now, or
Sure, go for it.
Jack?
It looks like they're a little bit concerned about a child that has come out to discuss things with them.
Jack.
Kaylee's going to
Jack?
tell us about the moon. Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
pretending that Jack is. Oh yeah, it's a super moon. Have you guys seen it?
Can't see it
Oh, yeah.
yet.
Oh.
Can't see it yet.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look in a minute.
That's gonna
You.
date the episode.
That's what I was just going to say,
That's
Justin.
how we do it.
So you got this whole wizarding thing going on lately, and I was wondering first if just for downtime and whittling and stuff, you could maybe give me a touch of that. I forget what you call it. Makes me feel nice.
It makes me feel nice. Well, no.
Nope.
I was going to say Bryn could probably help you with that, but Jack wouldn't say that. Of course, happy to help. I'm excited to see what you produce this time.
I really appreciate it, and also, so would you happen to have a spell that I think, I have run into mages who use it. We were always kind of on the lookout for it. I don't really know what it's called. They didn't really ever tell me. It's just you're supposed to look out for people snooping. Little things here and there, magical interference. You wouldn't happen to know of a spell like that, would you?
Like detecting magic?
No. No, that's what I would do. It's more like people seeing what other people are up to or seeing where other people were.
Oh. Bryn might have a spell like that. Hey, Bryn, do you have a spell like that?
But like what?
We tell her like what?
Spell lets you see
Oh.
people, things.
Actually, yeah, it's relatively new to me, and the holy water that we got in Castle Corstal, I always want to pronounce the T in Castle because of
Because of
Corstal.
Corstal. Yep.
Castle
That's fair.
Corstal. Or not, yeah.
Corstal.
I know, it's really hard.
Wow.
Castle Corstal.
I need some of that, and I think I also had Jack put a really big serving platter in his bag of holding.
Sure.
To be able to do this spell. So yeah, I can do that.
That's a spell.
You put the
Describe.
holy water
Oh.
in the platter and then look at it?
Yeah.
Puts the holy water on the skin.
That's great. Does it matter how far away the person is and whether or not we know where they are?
I don't think so. Technically, since we haven't long rested yet, I can't. I could do it tomorrow morning, but whatever Justin wants to rule on that.
We'll say
'Cause I
this
was
is the
going to
second
prepare
day
it for
of
travel. Oh, okay. So let me get to it. I keep clicking the wrong button.
I'm going to be honest with you here. We have like 16 days to fill. I'm not that worried about your spell slot usage.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to click it for giving him enhance ability.
So yeah, I can. It not depends on how far they are away. Like if they're on a different plane, it makes it a little hinky, but it just is more how well I know that person or how well I have a connection to them. Or if I have something of theirs.
Well, I was thinking maybe of trying to find Eamon Maine, but now that I think
Oh, I
about
thought
it,
you were going to try to find.
who?
Or, the feather.
Your brother?
The feather.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'll take the feather out and hand it. Find Rivenstone.
That's a
And I'll hand it.
good
If they're close
idea,
together.
Winry. Good job.
To be
I also have Aaron Ming's journal. That would probably work too
Oh,
if you want to
yeah.
find Ming.
But his brother might actually be easier because Ming is really powerful and he might have something that blocks us from.
Or know that he's watched.
Yeah.
But also, he might be able to extend that protection to
Less
Rivenstone
likely,
too.
But
But I think having the feather is a little bit more of a sure bet than Aemon Ming. Although I don't know how the spell works or the magic is. Perhaps
up to the DM.
you guys would know better than I would.
-4. So we've met Ming, right?
Yeah. I don't know
No,
if you guys
Winry?
have.
I wanna
Winry
say
has.
we
Winry
did
has.
At the Lyceum?
Oh, at the.
I don't think we did.
He would have been
No.
at like
Was
the
he
big
gone?
meeting, wouldn't he?
We met Riv. No, I think
I
he'd already
believe he
left.
was conspicuously absent.
Yeah, I think he left before the
Ah.
big meeting. We've met Riv before, though.
So probably. Will the feather be considered a body part then?
I will take that into account myself.
So
He will neither confirm nor deny that.
yeah, it should be pretty easy to find your brother.
Yeah. Let's try.
Probably a little bit harder to find Ming, but I could still try.
If we find Rivenstone, we find Ming.
Okay. Alrighty. So it takes me 10 minutes to cast, so the 10 minutes I'm
Can I interrupt really quick and just say that since the spell is new to you, it's like a little hinky. Can we say that you, Bryn and Jack, like go over to the side and like have a magic caster huddle where we're like talking about
Like, this goes
potentialities?
here.
Yep. And then we're like drawing in the dirt, like arcane formulas, like, but if we carry the one over here,
we got to do this part first.
I think it'll make it so that this is 5% easier.
So, yep,
That's
I
how I
set that
figured it
up.
out.
I get the platter out and take the
Holy water.
holy water
I give you the holy water.
and
And
pour
the feather.
the
I
amount
would
that I need
actually
in.
argue, side note, that Jack's way of doing magic probably is not at all helpful to how Bryn does
Yeah.
magic.
We're just like talking over each other and like it just doesn't make sense to the other person.
There's probably still connecting lines. And I would probably
Bryn-
know about it just from study.
And
That's
Bryn is like calculating the cosmology, like the moon
Yeah.
and the stars and where they're aligning. And Jack is like forget that. Forget the moon. We're talking about the arcane weave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's being like crunchy granola, and I'm being like, no, that's not how it works.
Science.
Yeah. It's science. She's like, yeah, but see, what do they call it in orbit or in retrograde or whatever?
Yeah.
Prograde and retrograde.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
Yeah.
I do get advantage it being a super moon tonight, right, Justin?
no.
Okay, what do I gotta
Love
roll?
it.
You don't roll anything, actually. I roll.
don't.
Yeah.
There's all those save modifiers in the spell, Justin.
I'm well aware, thank you.
Alright, just making sure you're reading stuff.
So with the 10 minutes, concentrating, aligning your spirituality with the cosmology,
Professor
as we'll kind of lean into this for you. After the time that you need to concentrate, get ready, get prepared, you lean over the crystalline reflection of the holy water in the platter, and an image comes to you. The image looks very similar to Rev initially. It kind of is zoomed in on his face at first. It looks similar. You've seen him before. He's a little stockier than Rev is, a little bit pudgier. And it starts to kind of zoom out. And as it does so, you get your first real look at Riv's wings. And yes, the feather does come, in fact, from Riv's wings. He is flying currently. Mostly, he's coasting, at least at this part in time, as he is seemingly going downwards. He's not flapping to gain elevation. As you watch him, as he flies through the air, eventually, he comes to rest on the ground and walks into a city. And you only get about 10 minutes, at least for each casting. And so most of the time that you have there is spent on him flying and then landing. I said city, it's really more of a town. And he spends the next minute or two going to barter for foodstuffs, or to pay and pick up foodstuffs. Honestly,
people?
not the most exciting thing that you could possibly have seen around here.
Any...
But I want clues as to which town he's in. So if it's like,
Yeah, I was gonna say any
Indicators?
like landmarks
What?
that I may have noticed, or water, or weather. I think it says I can see within 10
What
feet.
race the people
of
are
the
in the
target.
town.
Yeah, you can see within 10 feet of the creature during the duration.
So like as he's flying, like any, I guess not while he's flying, because he's flying. There's nothing around him.
Yep.
But as he lands or walking into the town.
I will ask you to make a... Boy, what's the best here? History?
so I can't see it in the reflection of the water either.
No, just me.
Oh man. So I'm like, what do you see?
So
we'll say
we don't see
investigation.
anything on the water. So I was like, Bryn, I told you we have to apply alpha to achieve.
Are you sure it's not history, Justin?
I'd be okay with either.
All right, I'm going to go history.
They're both
Are
intelligence
you
based.
are
If
you
you're trained
sure
in one,
you'll
it's
get
fine.
advantage on this roll?
I think I took something in history. I must have, because my modifier is better than my investigation.
You're trained in it. So, yes.
12.
Ooh.
Okay. This is going to possibly come off as vaguely racist amongst the populace of this here world. The only thing that you can pick up that is at all placing him in a location would be the people that he interacts with, the shopkeepers that he quickly interacts with in order to try to get the food. Your best guess, based on kind of colorings and eye shapes and face shapes, things like this, likely he is somewhere around Ostelin.
Okay.
That's the best that you can really pick out.
So I will
You knew they were-
describe... Yeah, because we saw them when we were on our way to the Monastery of the Two Winds. That's where we got the feather or something. So
Yeah,
I will
feather.
describe...
No, we got the
Describe-
feather from Eamon Ming's
His room.
house.
Yeah. So I will describe everything that I see to the lay party and my guess for Ostelin.
I thought he was heading up to Sindare when we were last tracking him. Must have turned it back around.
Possibly.
I don't know,
Well,
did we spot him on the stop?
Castan is on our way back from Sindare here. Could I make a stop there?
Most likely we'll have to for supplies and stuff, and unfortunately I can only do this once a day. So maybe when we get closer I can look again to see if I have anything better. He might also not, since he was flying in, he might not be staying in a town, but just be running back and forth to some hideout around there.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you, Bryn. I appreciate it.
Of course, I've been actually pretty excited to use that spell.
Out of curiosity, Bryn, did Riv look like he was big enough to carry Ming, or probably not?
So the wings that you saw were very oversized.
So quite possibly.
It is definitely possible.
Do you know what those wings are from, Rev? Like, is that new?
Well, they're very new. And I think Ming has been doing experiments on him. And I don't think it's against Riv's will. Riven said he was sorry. So I'm sure that whatever Eamon Ming is doing to him,
Consent.
Riven Stone is consenting to it. I just hope that it's not too late.
Royal said that he heard a story that he was traveling west into Austin, but he wasn't sure which clone it was.
Look at Winry
Yeah.
with her notes.
nice.
I
Well,
wrote it
Very
down when he
nice.
was talking to
Yeah.
Royal.
then we ran into Rick, and Rick said that
Oh.
he was heading north to Sindare. That's
Yeah.
what I remember. So,
Game is.
Mm.
What have you done to this game, Ryan?
what do you mean?
Rick, Rev, Rivs,
Rex.
We
Rayland.
kind of did it.
Royal.
We try. I think we and Justin tried hard to bust, and it still ended up being a rough name. So
I've got Rick
Sometimes-
saw
Elric,
Riv and
yep.
Ming and Ostelin lost in the foothills, or he lost them in the foothills.
Yep.
which
So-
I guess I assumed they were
and
heading over the
Ostelin.
mountains.
Yeah, and Ostelin heading
Yeah.
towards Sindare. That was
Yeah,
the
that sounds about right.
implication.
I guess, and by the way, the point I'm trying to make is sometimes things just happen. It's like it might be unconscious because I definitely did not consciously name these characters this way. I know you can whatever me all you want, but it's sometimes like how the dice makes decisions for us. It's the same thing.
Serendipity.
Sure.
All right, that's it. We can move on.
Well, unless there's any other items of import early on, by the time that you make it to town and onto the Shahalesti ships from there, Shalosha kind of taking the lead for you guys. She is very clearly in control of this group. That is her escort, effectively. And so she tells the captain of the ship that
She's the captain now.
She goes, I'm the
yeah,
captain."
I'm the captain now.
Oh
No,
my
she tells them
gosh.
we're leaving my bodyguards behind for now. They are aware. One of the ships is being left behind for them. The other two come with me. And they begin sailing southwards along the coast, planning to...
Oh, she's coming with us.
She is coming with you.
I thought she was just gonna drop us off at the boat. I was like
Nope.
fully
She's
prepared
coming
for her
with.
to leave us and everything. Okay, well at some point I'm gonna pull her aside because I was fully prepared to be like, bye.
Nope, you have 15 days with her.
Yes, at some point early on,
At
I'll
least.
pull her aside and talk to her. Oh wow.
Yes, I was just going to say, anything that needs to or wants to take place over the next 15
Messages,
days,
cries, discussions.
let's get to
games.
it before we
Thanks.
take this boat trip. So feel free, Becca. You can lead.
Can I try to listen in?
Make a stealth check.
Can she tell Winry? Can you tell me that you're doing it so I can give you guidance?
No.
Hey, no, I would not tell you.
So yeah, I will try to
Oh,
pull her
my
aside. I'll try to pull her aside at some
21.
point privately. with her.
21.
21 is bad?
For her.
Yeah. Plus 15.
Should I roll to see if or is it just the passive in the passive perception?
Would you be actively looking around to see if anyone was watching you?
Probably.
I mean,
mean-
based on previous events.
I mean, not like actively, but I'm definitely pulling
Oh,
her
look at you.
away with the intention that we are away from others.
Then yes, make a perception check.
Okay.
So Winry successfully, it appears, is able to
that's
listen
only a
in on the
12.
conversation.
Trying to make sure I don't change any of the things that I wanted to say to her.
Boo,
So,
don't do that.
first off, it's really good to see you. I think I simultaneously hoped that we wouldn't meet again so soon. Given the circumstances, I suppose the best it could have gone. I had prepared in my mind all these things to say if we had met under worse circumstances. There was a part of me that worried that you were just doing whatever your father was telling you to, and weren't thinking through the repercussions of your actions, and were just another one of his puppets. But there was always a part of me that knew that you were very wise as to right and wrong, very insightful, and you've always known which path to take. And I think I shouldn't have doubted you quite so much.
Give me a lot of credit.
How so?
Despite being nearly 100 years.
Well, I'm not sure about this, but I have a theory that the first 50 years of our lives say an awful lot about the next several hundred. So if that's anything to go off of.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment, even though I will say there is a part of me that is following orders at times, though I do my best to only follow what I have to.
Right.
I do not think he is always wrong. It is just the fervor. His intentions don't necessarily have to be bad. Just the way he goes about them is wrong, in my opinion. His want is for our people to be prosperous in the end. But he does it in poor ways.
Right. The ends not exactly justifying the means. Right.
So it is my work to follow the intents of his orders without necessarily following the specifics.
Yes. I think I would agree with that. You know you have nothing to prove, right?
I have much to live up for.
Yes, his standards for you. You have nothing to prove to me, and let alone to him. And certainly not to your people. But a leader since the day you were born. No work required. Or very little, at the very least.
And yet I lied to you. Despite there being very little reason for me to do so. I didn't... Honestly, this might sound silly, but I didn't always trust that what I said wouldn't necessarily somehow make it back to my father. Not necessarily from you, but it's hard to be openly or straightforwardly be resistant. It's one thing if he thinks, I'm doing what he says to the best of my abilities. It's another if I just do things intentionally wrong. So
Right. Right,
I
like
must be careful.
like telling people where you're going.
Well, I probably could have been more open there, but I knew what you wanted to hear about. So I did my best.
Yes, you did. And at least you gave me some info about the dragon. It was second-hand information. There's nothing I can do for Gate Pass. And if your father won't either, then no.
Someday.
Yeah.
It's been many years since I've been there.
When was the last time you were there?
Well, every now and then we'd go on diplomatic and envoys, but keeping the peace between our borders, so to speak. But it's been many years since been allowed to take a trip like that.
Allowed.
Well, father
You phrase
wasn't.
it as though you were forbidden to take such trips.
You've seen how my father is with forbidding things of me. I fear that this is only one of many things on that list.
Yes, I can't wait. Speaking of which, I can't wait till he finds out we're, talking to each other.
I rather hope he won't, honestly, but if he puts two and two together at some point, I'm sure that I will get an earful.
I hope you won't get too much flack for it.
You were a bad influence on me. Did you know that?
I really was. I know it.
Or at least that's what father
And
says.
proud to be. No, I was proud to be a bad influence. Needed to have an escape every now and then.
Well, I will do all I can to get over my shame at lying to you, as long as you will be open with me in the future.
Open about what specifically?
About what's going on.
From our end of things?
As much as you can, at least. I don't request a world of you. I just request the same as what I provide.
Right.
Anything that you think is meaningful for me to know, whether or not my father knows it.
Plus a lie every now and then.
And maybe a lie every now and then.
I won't lie to you.
But only a small one.
I completely forgive you for what you did, so as I said before, do not think of it. But you have to understand from my end of things, I have the same worries that you have about your father learning things he shouldn't necessarily know. I'm too worried again about the ends not justifying the means.
I understand.
What he'll do. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't want to see the torch in his hands. I just think it's too powerful.
I don't know whose hands can wield the torch safely.
Agreed.
Well, if you will give me a couple of days, I plan to reach out to some scholars in Colonus and see what else we can find out about the northern lands. Why are we showing off your glove?
They got washed.
Because I used it. It was for Ryan, but he's too busy reading an article on his computer.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the map right now.
Oh,
He's
I just
playing
did this.
D&D, unlike you.
Okay. Nice.
I'm reaching out, trying to find out all I can about Northern Shahalesti, about this land, Isengled first. And if you give me a couple of days, I will share with you what I find.
Yes, I appreciate that. That'll be helpful, I think. Thank you. Good to see you again.
You as well, Melly. What's next?
Winry scampers off to fill us all in on the conversation.
I'm
Oh,
the only
no,
one who's heard.
Winry doesn't do that.
Here.
Here to
Name is
tell,
Lily.
listen and tell.
Right.
I already knew
I'm the only
that.
one who's heard that until Winry just heard it,
He
right?
did?
That's your nickname.
No, Winry also knew because of another sneaking session she did.
Yep.
I listened in, but hey, I didn't tell anyone.
You didn't, which I'm very proud of you for.
I feel like we
I don't
learned it
tell
somewhere
anyone
else,
anything.
though.
I feel like I get bad rap.
You just learn everything.
Yep.
Yes.
She's very nosy, but she doesn't pass
Very
it along.
She collects things, not just
Doesn't want to
physical
gossip.
things.
When really it could be argued that Winry should do the opposite because she likes to take things and then give them back later when she's done with them.
I feel like this is pretty
Give them back
similar.
to their
She's-
owner, though.
Who it
Give them back to their
not
owner.
not to random people.
That's
just
called
wants
the
to
black
know
market.
about it and then let
Give
them
to
keep
us.
it.
Yeah.
Anyway, does anyone have a preference in
Who goes first?
something to do on the boat?
I will ask Bryn if she'd pretty send a message for me.
Too, I was just about to send some myself.
Myetharia
This is
sneaks
within-
Does that
over.
make
I
it
think-
any easier?
What do you mean? What
You're
was
like
it, Winry?
already sending messages to people. Is it easier if you just do them all at once? Like,
Oh no, not necessarily. But I'm
Time or
setting up a
line
nice
up.
little space and
Take a number.
The spell is actually called Summon Postbox.
Summon Q.
well, you can go first. Do your messages.
Winry. Okay. So first, I would like to. Gosh, now I have their names mixed up. I'd like to message Keth first.
That's your son.
Yep, that's the one that I want to message. And say we're. Because I let him know where we were going, right? I'm pretty sure I did. We're done with the castle. We're headed back to Seaquen. Did he know what we were doing? I don't think we told anybody.
We doubt it.
I don't think we can.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we were keeping an eye
We're
on the
gonna go
low.
find the torch of the burning sky.
We're okay. How are you? Where are you at?
Oh boy. This is one that I actually didn't write down for some reason. Was
Oh.
what I'd last said about Keth.
He said he was going to stay in
the army.
Gallows Fend.
Yeah.
No, not Gallows Fend. He was going to stay with the lady,
Lady Den.
What lady?
Lady
Oh.
Den.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to hear you're well. My group has taken it upon themselves to... No, I'm going to rephrase this. Hold on. I have to think.
I also said love you at the end of the message, so I don't have to send another message.
Yeah, glad to hear you're well. I had an epiphany of sorts. I will do more good away from the lines. I'm halfway to Seaquen already. Love you as well.
Aww.
I said we were going to. Yeah, I said on our way to Seaquen. Okay.
The refugees.
I'll let that one lie because there's another day. I want to message Ida. That's her name. About to look it up.
Your sister?
Yep, my sister. Also saying, left Sindare on our way to Seaquen. All is well. How's home? Love you.
A bit of a mess, honestly. Fighting on both sides. But we're carving out what we can. Holding for now. Could really use backup soon.
So just on multiple days, just because it's easier, I'll
That's
send
fine.
a message back to Cass saying, see you there, travel safe. And to Ida, I'll say, I'll see what we can do. Stay safe. Stay sweet.
Also, I noticed that you didn't say love you back.
Oh, did you say love you to her? Sorry, I was kind of already thinking about my response, honestly.
Yeah, not even listening.
That's
He's like,
right.
Bryn's like, should I read into this?
No.
She'll respond with, I know there's many pressing things. The resistance will hold. And we will... the resistance will hold, or at least will make it as painful as possible until they let go. Don't worry, we'll be around.
Love it. All right, Winry, who am I chatting to?
Can I first talk to you about how you send messages? Do you use your mind, right?
Yeah. It goes.
You know, if someone who can't perform spells can do it?
I'm not like on their own or like respond back or
On their own.
initiate it. Oh, I don't know if there's to learn. I guess it just depends on their innate magical ability. I'm sure someone somewhere has probably created an item or something that allows someone to use to cast that spell, but so for example, my power comes from the darkness and the night and the moon and the stars, and Jack would
Because you're Batman.
Jack would could book learn it, like
Book learn it. Fucking nerd.
And someone like you cast spells, I'm sure you could learn it some way. It might take more work depending on how much control you have of your magic, but I don't see why not.
Well, I can't cast spells anymore. But I was just curious if it was possible for me to learn how to do it. But you met my father before, right? In the village of that place.
Them out.
Erish.
Your father
Arash,
and
that we
your
went
brother, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't really themselves, but I would like to send a message to him.
Can I jump in for a second? Cassie, because you essentially changed like your subclass, do you want us to like deal with that
Yep.
in game? Because that's
We
the first
talked
time you
about
said
Oh,
that's
actually
right.
talked about it, yeah, that
You
she
did bring
gave
it
up
up.
casting
Yep.
spells.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Continue.
I would like you to say, hello, I was in the area and I hope I could stop by for a visit. Unfortunately, important matters required my attention. Hope the clan as well.
Hope the what is the clan?
The clan as well.
I'm adding from Winry in there.
Sure.
Oh, that was a nice spellcaster with kind things to say.
Okay, because it's not coming from your voice, they wouldn't know who you are.
Yeah.
Quick, Cassie, you gotta take 2 words out of there.
Right? That's too many words.
Well, anyway,
Sorry.
Hello can go.
Bryn, I'm assuming you cast the spell as she quoted.
Yes.
Okay, you hear back in your mind a deep, kind of growly voice to some extent says, "Thank you for playing intermediary with my daughter. Let her know that the clan is doing well. We hope that someday she shall find what she is looking for and return to the clan in strength. Until that day comes, let her know her brother is doing well."
I have a sister too. Dead. Oh no, she's dead.
She's not dead. Honestly,
Just
did,
like, I just forgot.
Your dad just recently decided he doesn't like her anymore.
did not look at what your family history was like when I was making that. You do have a sister now that I look at it.
Your siblings are
your
well.
siblings are well.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I'm going to change that. Your siblings are strong, is the word that comes back.
Ooh.
Thank you, Bryn.
So, it's kind of my tax, but what is the talk on, like, strength and stuff instead of being well or healthy, or is that sort of like a cultural thing?
Yeah, it's just important to a lot of people. Tabaxis, I suppose. Being strong.
Did you not feel strong when you were with them? Or they didn't view you as strong? And you don't have to tell me. I get such a glimpse of everybody's personal lives that I just can't help myself.
I don't think. I mean, I'm not very strong.
I mean, comparatively,
just-
you and I are a lot stronger than everybody else, but.
I didn't view that as important as they did. Strength, defending. I just
Seems
thought
odd. Seems odd now. You've sort of fallen into the role of our fearless defender, jumping in at the front lines and exploding skeletons.
Yeah, I guess I realized that it's not one or the other. You can be strong and still be silly and have fun. You don't need task and boring all the time. And both.
Your dad did sound kind of stern.
That's kind of why I didn't want to visit them.
It's not a lot of fun.
Not very loving. But we don't need our parents to love us. We can find love other places.
Well, I'm a parent, and I love you, and I give her a big squeeze.
Aww. I'll hug her back.
That's
Tight as
what
I
Winry
can.
says. Aw.
Just
It's
nuzzle
like
in
the
their
most
fur.
depressing
Hugging
quote.
each other.
Well, Like the most depressing.
And then it just
quote I've
turns
heard
silly.
This entire session. We don't need our parents to love us. Okay.
Is it depressing or is it?
I mean,
Honestly,
it's fair.
It's
true,
yeah, it's like
but
the
it's like, wow, that's deep.
you choose your
deep
own
trauma
family
there.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to say I see both sides. Me and my brother and my sister and my parents were all very, very close. We're very, very tight knit. We're in the same area. Our farm has been our farm for years. We defend each other. And I brought Keth into that life too, and he, of course, fit right in. And so part of me mourns for the experience you've had, but I also am happy that you chose me to be a part of your life to hopefully bring you some of that happiness and how a family should be.
Thank you. We're so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besties.
Well,
Ellen.
what's next?
Oh, I'll
roll
tell
for
people
beats?
about.
Beats,
Well,
beats,
I'll tell
beats.
people about Gates Pass too. Gate Pass. Shut up.
Could you see me staring at you?
I also checked on the map that was right in front of me.
That's not what it's called.
So right before feats then, one night in my room, I would like to set up all the scry stuff again, and I would like to check in on where Brent is because Ida said that he had left Gate Pass.
Gates Pass.
I'm by myself.
Yep.
You wouldn't be able to see it anyway because it's a scry.
True.
So.
Right, and Winry knows that now.
So she wouldn't try to peek in because she knows she couldn't see anything.
Yeah. Just be sitting there.
staring at a pool of water.
But I do it away from everybody so Winry doesn't go, hey, who'd you scry on?
You.
What you doing?
Sorry, I'm just making sure. Yeah, that's fine. I need to make sure I'm not saying anything that is going to go against what I'd said before. The image that comes to you. You see. You said Brent, right? I want to make sure
Yeah.
before I say anything.
Mhm.
You see your estranged husband. He is sitting at a very small table in what appears to be a dimly lit, almost no light at all, small room. There is a handful of people with him, and they all appear to be eating effectively dried or stale bread and some dried jerky. There's an air of business about them, like they're busy, they're working almost. And you notice a few things about Brent that were never true in the past. He has a grown out beard, like stubbly, uneven looking beard. Less like that, more like a general air of unkempt. His hair is long and uncut. It seems as though he's been either unable to or unwilling to deal with these not hygiene, grooming tasks.
General upkeep.
Yeah. He also,
He's a bachelor now. He doesn't have to take showers.
right. He also surprisingly appears to have at his side a small cudgel that is on like a belt loop at his side, basically. He's also dressed in relatively dark clothing, as though, just at a first glance, as though he has gotten involved in some sneaky work, some stealthy work of some sort.
He's a sneaky boy.
It's hard
now.
for you to place if the people around him are good or bad people just by a quick glance in the room.
But I don't recognize anybody.
You don't recognize anyone immediately, no. Whether or not that's meaningful, hard to say at a 10-minute look in at someone's life. But after a few minutes of quickly taking the stale bread and jerky, a man near the door leans in, says to everyone, "It's time to go. They're coming. We must move." And they quickly all pack up, and the vision fades as they start to leave the room.
Well, that was unexpected.
Too bad you can only do it one time a day, because I mean
16 more times, Justin. Come up with some shit.
If you really want to, we can do this again. And I can give you a little bit more firm answers after doing it a few times.
Yeah, as long as nobody else wants scribes, we can calculate out how many we do.
It's fine.
I don't know if you
next-
want to do it in game or over chat or.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to go into super detail. I'm getting really bad reverb with Cassie. Took them off. I'm not going to go into detail with each vision or anything like this, but it does take you a few visions in order to be able to piece a few things together. First of all, he does appear to be in Gate Pass.
Does not.
Does appear to be in Gate Pass.
Oh.
Secondly,
Good sneaky. So good sneakies.
your best assumption, your best guess is that he has fallen in with a resistance group.
Fallen in.
What do you want me to call it? He's gotten involved with
We're a
a
resistance group.
Fallen in.
Because every now and then when you've kind of looked in periodically at snatches of his life, they've been talking about reclaiming streets and areas and things like this. So best guess is they're trying to carve out an area in Gate Pass for themselves. It's unclear how connected or anything like this they are, but this seems to be the focus of his life, as you never really see him outside of this work feel. I don't know if you guys heard that, but she shut the cat in the room.
No.
So you never really see him outside of that. He appears to be fully dove into this effort.
Y'all, I messaged Justin this weekend and I was like, Justin, is Brent gonna be in Seaquen? He didn't respond, obviously, but.
Well, you got your answer.
If there is any sort of free slot to do another scrying on Riv, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
The second time that you attempt to scry on Riv, it fails.
Ooh.
That's scary.
Ooh, no.
I told you.
It's probably like
You know
a
what?
perimeter
I wonder if
around.
Yeah.
He's got it
Yeah,
all
I think so. Not good.
Winry, the second time we scried on Riv, it failed. Interesting. I'm sorry, Rev, just nothing. Oh,
You'd have to wait.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you need a minute?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Rev. Just it didn't work. I wonder
yeah,
if it was
well,
me or something.
we have a little bit to go off of already, so I appreciate that.
I could try again another day.
Sure, yeah, if you have the time.
I mean, we're just sitting on a boat. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot that I made Bryn scared of the water. I did when we were taking that little raft from the little ball sack here down to Seaquen. From the river
From
down.
the ball sack, yep. Our
You
favorite place in the
probably-
world.
You could probably do a little bit of like riding onto Cassie every once in a while to get off the boat.
To get off the boat, to not be seasick.
Yeah.
To go from a vessel that's this big to a vessel that's this big
But not-
over the water.
She seems way more comfortable in the air anyway.
In the air, and I like go closer to the land.
Anytime you feel seasick, you just go into a dimly lit room and just levitate up off the ground
Yeah.
and close your eyes
That's a great idea.
until the back wall of the boat catches up to you and smacks you and keeps you going forward.
So as for previous discussions about stopping in Kistan, Shalosha cannot oblige them. If you were going to, you'd have to get off the boat.
When we're close by there, can I try scrying on Riv again?
Sure.
It's a proximity thing.
Yeah.
You didn't have
So the-
signal before, that's the problem.
Definition of my life.
So the majority of times that you scry on Riv, they will actually fail. Every now and then, if you kept going after it, this sort of thing, over an extended period of time, every now and then you would catch solitary sections of Riv's life where he is doing mundane fetching tasks, basically. Anytime that he is at these tasks, there is a very conspicuous absence of a certain leader, so to speak, of Eamon Ming.
Got it.
There's also very little to go on beyond the fact that he seems to be sent off to gather supplies, whether they be perishables, food, alchemical, whatever. Largely what you see is him going somewhere, handing someone an item, like an envelope, basically, and then grabbing up a bunch of supplies, putting them in his like little parcel bags and trays and things like this, and then flying away again.
Okay. But it's mostly in Ostalin.
It is. As far as you can tell, it seems like it's an Ostalin area, at least. The only thing that I would say that you can make out that might be of relative interest to Rev here is Riv basically doesn't talk the entire time. All of his exchanges are seemingly mute. Not that he can't talk necessarily, but he basically just blank-faced lands, hands over the envelope, takes the stuff, puts it away, and then begins flying again. Looking, I don't know, almost, I don't want to call it bored quite, but just looking blank-faced.
Mm. Okay.
I do, after figuring out what's going, like what I can about Brent, I do want to message Ida again and say, is the resistance unified in Gate Pass? What groups are fighting? And who are they
Relatively,
fighting?
yes. There's actually two. Well, boy, I'm gonna want to look ahead. That was
Look
a
ahead.
spoiler.
Yeah, look who got the info, bitches.
I don't know if it should be that much of a surprise that eventually we're going to be back in Gate Pass.
Not really.
That pop?
It would feel bad if we didn't.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find this in 2 seconds. So, there's largely we're unified under two, I want to say 2 liters, but I kind of want to be able to look this up and get back to you just in case I'm wrong. So I'm going to say 2 liters unless I find out otherwise when I look this up in a little bit. That makes sense?
Yes.
Under 2 liters, Rental being 1. Oh, there's more than 2. I'm lying.
Several.
Yeah, we're going to say several liters. Yeah. The council largely fled. Though, gosh, you've really caught me off guard on this one. I will be honest.
I feel so cool.
Justin, you're supposed to have everything ready for us. We had 15 days of travel.
It's mostly names that I'm struggling to come up with
Yeah.
in the heat of the moment. Council largely fled. What's his name?
We're so far from figuring out the mystery, Justin didn't think to review this stuff.
Like, they'll never ask.
There we go. Gratanus. That's the name I was looking for, Rob. You probably would have had it at the tip of your tongue, but there it is.
Totally.
And he's of the Cabal school.
What was that?
Gratanus was of the school.
He is the president of Errolor Hall.
Okay.
Where
Oh, right.
Jack,
It's been a long time since we've heard
Yep.
that name.
it sure has, but it took me a long time to come up with it myself. I had to find it. So yeah, Gratanus, Rental, and last name, trying to get it.
Torrent.
Danova. Help lead the resistance.
Curry check.
Geneva or Danova?
Danova.
Danova sounds very familiar.
It is a name you've heard before.
Do I recognize it from when I was with Ida?
You can make an intelligence check if you'd like.
Oh, I just found it,
Damn it!
but I'm
Hang on.
not going to tell you.
Oh, that's fine. I mostly do this kind of intelligence check as a
Look at
like
take
if your
better
notes are not good enough that you can find it, I will tell you the answer if you roll reasonably. So if you want to mention it, you feel free.
I don't know. I'll go ask everybody.
Danova was connected to Cathor, who was one of the lieutenants in the Horsehead Armband gang.
Not necessarily connected to, but it's his last name. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Cathor
it's
Danova.
Cathor? Didn't we kill Cathor?
No,
No,
he let us live.
No, we killed his commander.
Yes.
You killed his commander with a fucking horse.
I did.
Yep.
Got dark real quick.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
Gratanus, Rental, and Danova lead the resistance here.
Interesting. Would you share at least that information with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then one more scry specifically on Brent to see if there's the Horsehead armband anywhere on him.
On Brent himself?
Yeah.
I would
on
have
anybody
mentioned
that's-
it if it was there, I think it's fair to say. Because I think that would have been...
Okay.
You see his body in full.
Yeah.
So I would have mentioned it if it was there.
Okay.
I'll say that.
All right.
Ooh.
Look at me taking all this role-playing time.
This episode is just going to be called
Jack,
Scrying.
you haven't done
Right.
anything.
Yeah, I didn't expect us to be on the boat this long. I thought we were going to beeline it to Seaquen. I've got lots in Seaquen.
Well, what
Right,
we will do
Beats?
then...
I have one last thing on the boat.
Okay, one last thing on the boat.
I'm gonna see if Jack wants to eat my necromantic cheese with me.
Oh, jeez.
That got weird real fast.
Can we eat it after we roll for feats?
See what can happen.
I strongly think we should not do this, but I don't think Myetharia would know about this, because you're probably going to do it secretly.
I'll say, while that does sound like fun, I feel like we should probably do that when we're in Seaquen and surrounded by powerful magic users who might be able to reverse any damage we do to ourselves. But
we don't.
Rain check, for
That
sure.
doesn't sound like fun.
Always use a spotter.
I thought
You gotta
Jack
have a
was
DD.
the spotter.
That's what I was thinking. I've always heard when
Oh.
you try new things, you should do it with someone else.
Yeah, so you can both partake and have a trip together.
And have each other's backs.
Right, while we're tripping together.
Is this gonna break down before it begins?
What?
Relationship?
Over an argument about
Is it
drugs.
First fight.
The cheese.
Eat the fucking cheese!
Well, as long as you promise that you will help me find out what this cheese does. Once you get to Seaquen, then that's
Absolutely. I am maybe not as interested as you, but I am very interested in the magic evil cheese.
It's not evil. It's necromantic.
Bryn does necro.
It's true.
Bryn's not evil.
I think Bryn does necromantic spells. We wouldn't quite call her a
Adjacent.
necromancer.
There is a very
It's
big
not a
difference in connotation, but yes.
Okay, I will wrap my cheese back up.
In sadness.
I
Objectively
hate
that.
I hate to be a wet blanket, but at the same time, I don't want anything to happen to you. Or me. What if it turned you against me? I probably wouldn't be able to defend myself against you. How about that? If you turned evil
Fine.
and I'm the closest thing to kill, you'd kill me instantly.
Maybe we should have a third person with us just so they can tell us what happened. Remember.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
What's the word that I want?
date night.
When someone comes with you on a date.
Date night.
Third wheel?
Oh,
Third
chaperone.
A chaperone.
Date night, yeah.
I like third wheel. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do the rolling for feats at this point in time.
Did you get my Venmo, Justin?
Not yet. I can check it.
Oh, all right.
No,
Refresh it.
So everyone can feel free to give it a roll. Winry,
one
I
session.
literally don't have anything written down for what you're doing right now.
Well, I don't know if it would take the whole time, so I want to see if Jack will teach me the Song of Forms.
Oh, right. That's right. I
Oh,
remember
that's
that now.
cute.
Oh.
So Winry, on leveling up, if I remember correctly, you've gotten the ability to. I forgot what it's called. Can you just talk about it? What is it?
Oh, I would assume that he would be like, but Winry, you don't speak Sylvan, and then they'd be like, oh, but I do. I can,
That's how it plays out.
I don't know, speak all languages or something. It's called
So
Tongue of the Sun and Moon. Understand all spoken languages. Any
Oh,
that
yeah.
understand the language can understand what you say.
So it isn't technically that you speak in Sylvan. It's more that when you speak, Sylvan speakers can understand you. It's like you're speaking directly to their soul or like their mind, so to speak, and bypassing the need of language. So you can't read it or anything like this, but you connect with people on a level that's beyond words, so that when they are talking, you can hear them and they can understand you, despite that difference.
Stop being rude.
So we took that to mean, even though the Song of Form requires Sylvan technically, thought it'd be way more fun if she could learn it because of that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I love that. I'll say, I would love to teach it to you, Winry, but I feel I should warn you that it hurts.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Sometimes it can hurt. Really, every time it hurts really bad. Really, there's not been a single time where it has. No, there's been one time where it didn't hurt really bad.
Well, I feel like it's important for more than one person to know it, just in case.
Also, it makes
And
sense.
it looks really cool.
And you're the protector of the Sela, so you should know their song.
Cute.
I can't laugh. If I laugh, I'm gonna have a coughing fit.
Oh my gosh.
If you're okay with the risks, then I would love to teach it to you. It would be my honor.
Okay.
Now we have to learn how to sing from the diaphragm, so you're gonna want to take a deep breath.
No.
Let's go ahead and get the rolls through.
I don't want to.
I know.
Rolling for
Mine are
performance.
at 0.
I don't know if
Winry,
anyone
you
saw.
don't actually have to roll. It will take the week, I'm gonna say, like the feat learning app
Okay.
section here, but you can learn it just for free, so to speak, without needing to roll.
Jelly.
And I'm like working on. So my
Jack
feet was
learned it in
working
a
on
day,
my.
after all.
My feet is working on my diviner. So I imagine you're like standing behind me and you're like doing scales, and I'm like, that was a little sharp. That was a little flat. While I'm working on my thing.
I'll flick your ear.
Ow! All
See
right.
how much that flicking of the ear influenced his fixing his improving his diviner.
Here, do you want to? Yeah, I think I add my intelligence, right, Justin?
Oh.
Yep.
I had my dex, so
Yep.
it's a 0, so it's a straight roll for me.
All right, here, let's do this.
Huh.
You roll for me, and I'll roll for you.
I feel like I don't like this.
That's
Then it's out of
dangerous.
our hands.
I'm just gonna like
Literally.
link your arms together.
Now
and,
wait.
Like, and then
The dice
roll.
that lands here is me. The
Yeah.
dice that lands here is you. So if you roll a 20,
I feel
that's
like-
my 20. Yeah, all right, this could get bad. Give it back.
Well, I feel like I'm gonna roll really well, and you're gonna roll
I'm
really
gonna biff
shitty.
it? Yeah, probably.
Because you suck at rolling.
I don't know if anyone saw, but I've been working on this
Do
feat
it.
for a year and a half.
All right, do it. Let's just do it.
You've been working on it
Year
for
and 3
over
months.
15 months, yeah.
Okay. 3,
So,
2.
Myetharia,
1,
Rev,
go.
you're both decks also.
Ah! What'd you roll?
That's
Hey, that's
fine.
not bad.
Bad. You get to add stuff at least. I don't get to, so that was good.
So, Bryn, that was a 10, you said?
No, 14 for me.
16
All right.
for me. I think it's the
You're
highest
welcome.
I've ever rolled.
I'm asking for that sweet cat's grace every night. Is there any chance that
Totally.
Jack's okay?
Every night.
It's quite a bit.
I'll hook you up, buddy.
There's a small
I
part
need-
of you
I
that
need to
wants you to
post it.
roll with disadvantage because of that.
Ooh.
Because you're already so fast that it's like making it so that your training is less worthwhile. Oh, are you whittling? I'm sorry.
I'm whittling. Yeah. No,
Okay,
I'm not.
I will give
you're
you
right,
advantage on whittling.
Ooh.
Mostly because whittling is effectively money making, and so I am totally fine with you money making slightly faster.
I need more money.
Jack,
Oh,
with your 16, you have in fact finished your diviner augmentation.
Holy shit.
Yay!
What does it do?
Yeah, what is it?
Honestly,
it's-
do you remember what it is anymore?
Of
Because
course
it's
I
been
remember.
like
Are you
almost 16
kidding?
months since you thought about it.
I feel like you're mocking me for being frustrated that it's taken just shy of 2 years to do it. Buster. Or a year and a half, sorry. Just shy of a year and a half. Anyway, yeah, it's the first part of Warcaster, so I get advantage on concentration checks. Which is awesome.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Ooh.
So it's me making an addition to my diviner that makes... Kind of actually thought about it. It makes the tones more... Ryan, what would you do to music to make it more mellow? Like do a minor key, or minor key's creepy?
It depends on
Let's go
what
lower.
key you're in. Yeah, really. A mellow usually has more to do with like the tempo and the melody that you're playing.
Well, that doesn't help.
Or the type of instrument that you're playing.
Well, it. I had like a second chamber to it that like harmonizes, so it makes it more pleasant to listen to. So that calms me down to allow me to focus on what I'm doing better.
Allows it to reverberate better and like linger in the air longer, so even if you got hit and were interrupted slightly, that the composition wouldn't be interrupted.
So in other words, I need to find a new sample to play every time the diviner goes
Yeah,
off
exactly.
in our remixes. Yeah, in our remastered episodes.
Find a new one. Make it 2 tones.
I mean, the sample I use is pretty shrill in what I've been doing so far. So
well,
I
that's
guess
what
I
it
could
is.
Find something
Myetharia.
more.
I rolled a 20 on my first one.
Ooh.
Wow, that's the best
Wait,
you've
what do you
rolled.
mean your first one?
Didn't you say it was 15 days? Oh wait, it's every 2 weeks, which are 10-day
Hey.
weeks.
Hey,
all right.
chill. Yeah, it's one
Get
right
a little
now.
ahead of yourself there, girl.
We might
Fine.
roll a second, depending on what everything
Okay.
else happens.
So I looked it up, and to
Simmer
be fair, I've also been working on this for about the same amount of time, but I've been working on 2.
But ours we already
I'll
got.
roll
We
that.
already completed ours though, right?
Yeah, we already got
Yeah.
our
Yep.
combined one. I've just been working on both of them at the same time, so now I'm just down to my personal sheet.
And Rev, what you got for your Whitlin?
23.
Very
Ooh.
nice.
What am I at with that now?
Jamaican.
I know. Give us
So
all
what
an
I
update.
do, I just do a total of what you've rolled, and that just adds to the value of what you make. If
Okay.
that makes sense. Like it's a multiplier, sort of.
A 0.
Yeah, so I'm whittling. This is actually at one point I'm gonna like you can see what it is. It's a flute. And I start to it's a wooden flute, so it's more like a recorder, I guess, because then like or I guess a flute could be like this. That's wooden. It's a wooden flute. Yeah, it's good like that.
It's either
And,
a pan
uh,
flute or a side flute, yeah.
Side flute, not a pan flute. Because it was whittled down from like a chunk of wood, like that I got from the Forbidden Forest, the Forbidden Valley, the Hidden Valley.
What are
Come on.
those?
That
what are
area,
those
that area.
places?
Yep, we
Come
got
on.
it.
From the valley that we weren't supposed to go into, where we fought with Kayla.
Perfect.
And so it's whittled from a piece of wood from there, and I'll take it and I'll kind of spin it around in my fingers, like a little quarterstaff or something. Then like hold it, and is it nice? Is it nice? Like I've rolled pretty well, so I guess I'm gonna assume that
You've
it's
rolled
like
twice so far, but yeah, you've gotten a total of 40 over the 2 rolls.
40. What was my last
Well,
one? Do you remember?
I can look up how much it ended up being. You'll have to give me some time to find it, though.
So while he's looking that up, I'll see you twirling it, and I'll go, "Ooh, would you like me to help you tune that?"
I was actually, I'll toss it to him somewhat nonchalantly.
You
just
tune
toss it.
a wooden flute.
Magically, obviously.
Well, he can carve out the holes a little more.
Yeah, exactly. Just play it a little bit, and I can maybe
kinda-
fine tune it.
I kind of want to roll a dexterity saving throw, see if I catch it.
Go ahead.
You do what you want.
I don't want it to hit the ground and break. That feels bad.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Last time it was 31 total, it appears. So you
Oh
have
wow.
more successfully or longer term worked on this one.
Interesting. Okay, in this case, I'm gonna say that it's actually pretty much done. There's like some intricate like wind patterns going up and down it. Kind of in like I'm trying to get like a silver etching of some kind. I don't know how I do that, but maybe there's some sort of like some sort of coloration with the wood that I can make it look a little more like it's silver in certain places, like it's wind, like it's a pattern of a gust of wind going down the side of it, and maybe I'll have to like do a little bit of research on this. I'm not sure how to like engrave wood so that it has certain properties. I feel like there should be like ways to paint it or something so that it could be like nice silvery or gold in certain places.
Or maybe like a resin inlay.
Like a resin inlay. Hell yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Really cool.
What?
So there's a resin inlay that like sparkles a certain way to make it look kind of like lightning. And yeah, so he'll toss that to Jack to play.
I play it. I'll say I'm not really trained in this so much. My father was really good at the flute, but I'm just maybe okay. But I'm still willing to give it a shot. Oh shit. I thought I'll just roll a performance check to see how it goes. And in Jack Nature, I rolled a 5. So I roll 14 total. So it's like, it's okay. Its tempo isn't quite there.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
Does it sound like it's in tune?
Yes. And it has a very warm tone to it. I think you've done some great work here.
So you look skeptical there, Becca, but I think it is actually a meaningful thing that the holes in the flute are in the exact right position to get the right tones out of it. So it is meaningful to talk about it being. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I was skeptical over Jack's tone. Like, yeah, it's in tune. Like, I couldn't tell whether that was him hiding up the fact that he was playing so poorly, or if it was actually in tune or not. I don't know.
I see. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Well, let me tell you what. How about you just keep it? You can sell it or whatever. It's a gift. Why not? It's a flute. You're a flute guy, or you play instruments. You're a fluty type of guy.
You're a fluty. You seem like a flute.
Why don't you just keep it? It's like a gift or something.
My eyes instantly well up, and I have to start like biting my lip, like. Thanks.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Okay. I'll run off to my room and like let out some emotions. Actually, no, I'm gonna go straight to Winry and be like, I'll show her the flute and be like, Rev made this and gave it to me like a gift. He said it was a gift.
Yeah, and he didn't seem to, like, usually when he gives stuff to people, he's getting something back, but I don't really think that, I guess he is giving him magic.
I wish you hadn't said that, Winry. This was such a positive thing.
He's thanking you for helping him.
I am choosing to not read it that way. I am choosing to read it as there was a gift between friends, because that's what we are. Damn it.
From his heart. What do you
Straight
do
from
with it?
his hands into my heart. I don't love that. What'd you say?
What are you going to do with it?
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to, when we get to Seaquen, I'm going to buy a glass case for it and put it in the glass case and just carry that around with me everywhere we go. I'll never play it again.
That seems smart. Maybe once you place you live, I guess you can carry it in the bag of holding. Seems really heavy.
Yeah, well, I have to keep it in pristine condition. No, that's dumb. I should play it. So I pick it up mid-conversation and start tooting on my flute.
Hopefully better than you were earlier, or at least like improving a little bit.
Yeah. Nope. That's a natural one.
He's so caught up with emotion. He just
Maybe it's
Yeah,
the flute
When we
problem.
start twitching
Maybe
at
it's
a
the
pitch
flute.
she can only hear.
No, at this
It's a cat,
point,
not a
at this
dog.
point, there's no way.
He's just like that really annoying kid who's like so enthralled with this new noise
recorder.
toy that he's like going around the entire ship just blowing on it,
Yeah.
practicing, and we're all like, oh, please.
It's like
It'll get
James
better
playing the
eventually.
highest note on the harmonica.
On the
because that's
harmonica
most annoying
over
one.
and over. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
because I know music and I know how to play instruments, and because it's such a special gift, I imagine I'm like whiplashing myself, where I'll like get through like a bar of music, then I'm like, God, timing wasn't quite right. Then I do it again. I'm like, that was
You repeat the
also too
same
slow.
bar over and over and
Yep.
over again.
Yeah. There's another David reference. Whiplash. Anyone remember Whiplash?
The Flash, good movie.
It's like 10 years ago.
In fact, I talked about that movie today. Because
Oh, nice.
there was that license that I got today that had me hyped. It was like a jazz drum solo thing. So
Nice.
Well, to break the tension, or to break the moment, Winry, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw for me a second.
Huh?
What?
We have the madness boon.
Is it an evil flute?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
This is Rev's
Okay.
way of taking all of us out.
I mean, I did carve it from a piece of wood from that like enchanted valley. So
If it would help you guys, you can call it the Valley of Storms. That's probably the easier way to reference it.
Valley
It was
of
the Forbidden
Storms.
Valley to the people
Forbidden.
of Erish, so to speak. But
hidden
probably
valley.
It's the
easier
hidden valley, Justin.
Yeah,
the
name it
Valley of
Storms if you
Storm,
want.
the Valley of Storms is much better. Like,
If you
It'll be
wanted
like
to avoid us
22?
saying
You call
hidden
you
valley-
call it that.
you.
It's gonna still be
Hidden Valley.
Hidden Valley.
Becca might
Who's trying
have
to-
disconnected.
Nah, she just likes to hold that pose sometimes.
Yeah, it's a good pose.
She's letting out a really long, quiet fart.
I hate you guys
Oh,
so
she's
much.
back.
Oh no, she
I
heard the whole
hate you
thing.
guys so much. Yeah, I heard that last sentence. That was the only thing I heard.
There's
I'm like,
only
yep,
one
my
person
face
you hate.
pose, didn't it?
It surely did.
Becca's gonna compulsively buy the highest level of internet
I will.
she can.
I will. That's what I should have
She's
put on the
going to
wedding
debt.
registry. Was just like a
Yeah, I know.
really amazing
Just
thing
internet.
or-
Better internet.
internet.
Pay for my
I think
internet for a
Fiverr.
year.
should be better than here.
After a few days, Shalosha will come back and meet with you again, Myetharia, and she wants to pass along what she's learned. She's learned a handful of legends, effectively, of things that happened. Some of which might be familiar, some of which may or may not to you. First thing, Isenglyph First is a frozen and supposedly haunted elven forest. Now haunted,
Dislike.
I should say. On the northern border between Ragesia and Shahalesti. The elves who lived there, as you will well know, called the Terranesti, were driven into exile or extinction, depending on the source, though most believe that they fled underground. Unknown for sure. There is a legend that came up in her research of an order of paladins who tried to slay a Terranesti diabolist who they believed had ensorcelled one of their own. The paladin died to defend his wife, and the unborn half-elf, half-orc son,
Oh,
the son named Ruark.
yeah.
He grew up to be a powerful agent for the Terranesti, and it is thought that he is likely one of the few survivors of this, the war between these nations.
So hang on.
Wait, so
go back.
Is
So
it the paladin group and then
Order
he,
of Paladins, you said?
and
Yep.
he was with the Terranesti elf and then that created Ruark?
Correct. Yep.
So sort of like a Pocahontas thing, two worlds.
Yep.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yep. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
or,
Yep.
or Tarzan, depending on
True.
what era.
I would probably say more Pocahontas-esque, but then, yeah, it has a little bit of that undertones of slavery and extinction bias. So
So were the
yeah.
paladins
So the-
part of
Ragesia?
Shahalesti?
No,
You said orc. Do you?
I did.
Okay.
In that war that you served in, Myetharia, it was not just Shahalesti who was involved, as Shaladel called upon his friend at the time, Koltung, in order to assist in this war. I will get to that more here in a moment, actually. So, yeah, there are 5 rivers that go through Isenglaed, including the Taryaver, which means black in the local tongue, which is the one that she thought sparked that memory, the Black River. It named for its dark waters.
Okay.
The locals of the area always avoided it, believing that it carried the cursed souls of fallen elves. Basically, it's like the River of the Dead for the elves. There's stories of a lost city named Foros Arendra, which I will put in the chat for you because I know how much you guys love to guess about spellings and find out how wrong you were.
Lost City of Zed. That's my reference.
The lost city of Foros Arendra, which was supposedly a Drowalesti city from ages past, that was later inhabited by the Terranesti, but was never able to be discovered during the war with Shahalesti. It was always this mythical place that Shaladel was seeking to find, but supposedly never could.
So it's
The
like the
last
Lost
thing
City of
that she
Zed.
can... What?
It's a reference that Stephanie should get, but she's not getting.
Okay.
The book that we read.
The last kind of myth, so to speak, or story that she comes back with is about the gold dragon Sayana for you, knowing that it was a thing. She was the guardian of Isenglaed for decades. Legend has it that she maintained a lair in each of the rivers. Her daughter, Trilla, was once captured by Koltung when he was helping the Shahalesti kind of conquer this land. But Sayana helped her daughter escape from Koltung's grasp, unfortunately being slain in the process. This is why her bones came to be mounted in Castle Korstal as effectively one of Koltung's trophies through the ages.
So Trilla a dragon?
Makes more
So
sense.
Koltung wanted to kill, or attempted to kill Trilla at some point.
Just captured her.
No, he captured her.
He
Captured and
captured
used
her.
her.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Was using her.
And that is the basis of the legends that she can come up with that you would not already know. It is clear from your knowledge that she is purposefully kind of skirting the whole events that occurred there in the past, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's something
it does.
of a point in history that she would choose not to remember.
And she'll, if anything does get mentioned, like, she'll be able to note my discomfort with the topic, so.
Mm-hmm. But that is what Shalosha can give you guys, and with hopefully everybody being done with their boat time activities at this point.
Well, I'll watch Kistan. I'm sure we passed by Kistan.
Watch it wistfully over the
Yeah.
bow.
Silently. Maybe
If
grumbly.
Rev smoked this, he would light one up while we were going past.
Yeah, he might go and ask for some cat's grace or something afterwards.
Do we
You are admitting it's a drug.
do we know why Shahalesti attacked Terranesti again? Or force him out? I feel like we've talked about it before, but I could be wrong.
You want me to answer? Or
Yeah, if you can, go for it. I'd always love for the party to
Um,
answer when they can.
I don't remember.
There wasn't anything specific. They were labeled dangerous by Lord Shaladel, but not for any. There wasn't anything specific, but he labeled them a danger to Shahalesti and had banded together with Cold Tongue to kill them, basically.
It was partly a expansionist war for Shahalesti as a nation.
Yeah, expansionist. Yeah.
Well,
Cool
if there's
beans.
any last questions for Shalosha, ask them now, because she is about to drop you guys off on the Seaquen Peninsula and continue on her way back to Kalanis.
I'll find her in a private moment and be like, was there ever a chance between us?
Don't.
No, I don't do that. I'm totally kidding.
Gonna say I follow.
He's like,
Winry on the side of the boat listening.
Hey.
It's a good thing Winry can't do magic anymore, because what if she got something like spider climb? Latched on at different places to listen to
Get
people.
those boots.
I can already climb walls though.
Yeah.
It's also, well, you can't stay on walls.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can run up them.
Just run back
anyway.
and forth.
Yeah, right. Just run back and forth constantly.
Stealthily.
At this point, then, the boat will slow enough for you guys to disembark in kind of relatively shallow waters and swim to shore from there.
Oh, damn.
Well, they're probably slow enough that they could stop for a minute and rowboat you to the shore if you'd like. That's probably the more nicer way of doing that. In retrospect,
Well, I guess last time she was here, it wasn't
Last
under
time they
the
were
best circumstances.
she is not going to the harbor, you'll notice, and you are being dropped off a little bit away, kind of out of sight from the city,
Appreciate
so
that.
you've got a
That's
couple
better than
mile walk
swimming.
in, basically. But yeah, she's giving a little bit of a wide berth to the harbor afterwards in order to avoid any of these uncomfortable discussions, and will continue on her way sailing along while you guys head into Seaquen for the second half of our discussions.
Before she goes, I want to say to her, also in a private moment, it's difficult to go against the wishes of our families, but sometimes it's the right thing to do. And for what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing.
Thank you. I've seen you over the past week and a half, and I find it encouraging that you are embracing my ideals of finding good people regardless of their blood history.
I know that's a problem with most folks in Kalanis, but it was never something that was, well, I guess other than maybe Regesians. Maybe there's still a little bit of a thorn there, but I am relieved to hear that there is good on both sides. That's it.
Thank you. And with that, the boat disembarks. You guys spend a little bit of time hacking it through the jungle, so to speak, the swamplands, before arriving back to a bustling Seaquen. The town has grown since you've been here, as it has continued to do so. Largely the open area outside of the main town and kind of the connection between that and South Harbor is almost completely filled now with people. There's a fair amount of semi-permanent residences, things of this nature, as the entire area just continues to be built up. It isn't like a steady flow of people constantly, but the people that were there, all the refugees and things, and travelers and etc., finding homes and building homes, setting down roots in the area. What would you guys like to do here?
Trying to find my list.
I'll message Keth and see how far he is out.
I mean, first we should report to
Yeah, let's go straight to
Simeon.
That's what we need to do first, is go talk to Simeon. Sorry.
You're fine. So I'm assuming you mean sending, not message for Keth.
Yeah.
He says, still a week out or so. On the way, though. Won't be long.
I'll try and wait.
You fly out on
The day before.
no, just like fly out.
Oh, yeah.
Spend your whole time in Seaquen flying towards Keth. Yeah, I think that we should check in with Simeon first.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's a smart plan.
Okay.
Do.
Yep, heading over to the Lyceum then. Making your way through. Talking with those who you... I didn't say downtown.
But you were doing a cadence there that I thought you were like making a joke out of it. Anyway.
Talking with those who you see, you may recognize or have seen before. You make your way to Simeon's study after a brief moment of waiting. He's excited to have you back, of course. And when you arrive and he sees you without the torch, he kind of sighs for a moment and says, well, I suppose it was too much to ask for. So, tell me, I have not heard from you since you left the monastery.
Sorry.
How did it go?
It could have gone better. On the plus side, the torch has been gone from Castle Corstel for like a year. So it wasn't like we just missed it. So that could be a positive.
Been gone since
Happy
Coltung
year.
was
Oh yeah, 6 months, sorry.
Happier.
interesting.
We have this Inquisitor here. Maybe he can help
Oh,
you.
shit. I forgot about Darius.
Darius.
You know,
Fucking Darius. We didn't push him off the boat.
I completely forgot that. Like, we probably should have made him a prisoner. Like, what is he doing? Like, what does he want? Does he want to go back to being an Inquisitor? Does he told us
Yeah.
anything? Like,
As halfway through the boat trip, I was like, I realized we have Darius with us, and then I promptly forgot about it.
does he want to go back home? Like, what's his deal? Does he want to be with us? Like,
It's
Hey, buddy.
so I will leave that up to you if you wanted to take him with or not, because he probably would have said that he would rather stay with Magnus, given the
Oh
chance.
shit. So we basically kidnapped him.
Well, it's up to
Oh
you.
no!
then he can go with
If he had
Magnus.
said that, then yeah. I personally
care.
think we should have left him. If
That-
he states
that would-
before
that
we
would-
left, hey, I want to stay with Magnus, then I think that's fine.
That would be why we didn't talk to him the whole boat ride,
Exactly,
'cause he
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
there.
Exactly. Wasn't there?
He wasn't there.
We'll fix it in post.
You
So
should've
what
said
did you
something
learn?
We do have a lead, though. We believe that there's a good chance that not only the torch, but also Coltung were taken to Isenglaed first. We're going to recuperate, and then we plan to head there to see what we can find.
We believe one
Well-
of the assassins who took or killed Coltung, or took, is Ruark.
He kind of nods thinkingly, as though he's trying to puzzle things together in his mind. Seems you have much information already. What can I do to assist?
Well, our next goal is to go to Isenglaed and see if we
Unless
can find
there's-
any more clues.
If there's any way that we could teleport there like we did to Osterland,
Expedite?
that would be incredible. If you think we can scrounge up the resources to do that again.
Or if there's anything
it'll
that
probably-
you've found since we've been gone.
It'll probably take us a couple of days, but I believe I can probably discuss the matter with Sheena again. So she would be amenable. As you guys are
Hey.
talking, a few other people are starting to gather as they were kind of out and about, and are kind of getting brought in to discuss. And so among them, you have Kieran Steckert, who joins nearly immediately and is very silent and quiet, watching over on the side. You also have 3 Weeping Ravens and Torrent, who also join in the room.
Yay, Torrent!
As they do so. They kind of jump in and listen, and as you're talking about this, what your plan, like where you're going, you can see 3 Weeping Ravens at the side kind of laugh morosely to himself and kind of shake his head. Under his breath, he says, I guess I should have known it would always come back to this.
Do you have anything to add or to help us? You seem to know something we don't.
Well, I believe that we had spoken before about our order. The Order of the Echoed Soul. It so happens that our order used to be based in that region. Our temple was there. We've been driven out of our home for decades now, as I'd mentioned before, but just feels very fitting that the first time that I extend a hand in assisting, it points us directly straight back to where we've led. I can do my best to describe the temple for you, if it would be of any help, but I don't know that it necessarily would.
At least be a waypoint for us.
Not unless it had anything to do with Foros Rent.
Cannot say I know the name at all personally, no. What I can say is this temple that we were at previously was used to reshape your soul. It was a willing thing. Our monks went there to do so over years of meditation. And sometimes outsiders would come as well to change themselves. Those who were not wise enough would sometimes lose themselves in the process. But those who were successful could change aspects about their own being. The true masters transcended their mortal bodies, and they persist amongst the temple as spirits. The only other thing I can really say about our order would be that 8 is a symbolic number for us. Again, I don't really know what's going to come up over there, but you'll be in the area. The 8 represents elements. The 4 corporeal, air, earth, fire, and water, and the 4 ethereal, death, life, space, and time. Every man's soul can be seen in the interaction of not just these elements, but also in 8 people that they know. No man can achieve transcendence without 8 others who would aid your journey. These are our teachings, at least.
Well, aside from the religious relevance, if you're able to describe the temple in good detail, that might be a good point for us to aim for in teleportation.
I certainly can try. I'll have to discuss with a few of my more senior members. I'm one of the youngest, unfortunately. I have very little history myself. But I will get you a description.
It sounds like we have a couple days.
Would you want to come with us?
Honestly, no. I do not think that there is a home for us there. We fled for a reason. I don't know how much more I can speak of it, but
I thought you were asking.
Our order was forced to flee by one of our own.
Did he ever say a rough timetable of when they fled?
Prior to the war, if that's what you're asking.
That is what I thought. I just wasn't positive about what his answer had been.
Wait, what was the answer to that?
Before the war.
Before the war. Okay.
Wait, this war or the Shahalesti war?
The Shahalesti Taranesti War.
Wait a second. I was blowing my nose. What happened with Three Weeping Ravens
I was just on his
order
page.
happened before the Taranesti, Shahalesti?
Yes.
Okay. Huh.
Any updates with the military intelligence?
We've been working on it. I think we're close to a breakthrough, honestly. I don't want to get you too excited with half-truths and half-translations, so I won't speak of it just yet, but we're on to something.
My family's still in Gate Pass, and they've informed me that there's sort of 3 leaders heading the resistance there in Gate Pass, and they're holding, but not well. Can we send anything their way?
Hard to send much. Anything going via teleportation has a right risk of burning, unless we send it with people. And unfortunately, we need nearly everyone we have here. We'll do what we can. Our biggest problem is we've lost our connection. Brina left a short while ago.
Where did she go?
I don't know.
Is this
That's
concerning?
Certainly not ideal, but she seemed reluctant but resolute in saying that she had to leave. She didn't just disappear in the night, but she also would not say specifically what she was up to.
She didn't say where she was going.
No.
That's too bad.
Well, I would volunteer for our group to be a but obviously have
Well,
pressing matters here.
We've still tried to keep in touch with her brother, Rantel, who, as you say, was one of the leaders in the city. So at least we are up to date with information as much as we can be. And we're doing what we can to get him supplies. That's the best I can offer for right now.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Well, since we have some time, I think there are a few things that we would like to delve into while we're here. So, if you are okay with getting started on procuring what we need to teleport to Isenglaed, I think we'll leave you to it.
I will get started. You do
Is
as
that-
well.
Is that the best use of our time and resources? Is there something else we can do?
There's always things to do around town, but
We already
I think
did all
you've
the side
earned-
quests, guys.
I think you've earned yourself a rest first. You've been go non-stop. Take a few days. Deal with your own things. Check in with who you need to. And I will come get you when we're ready.
Well, it sounds like you're set on sending us to Isenglaed, so sounds good to me.
Honestly, you are my best resource at the moment.
Damn right.
Maybe my best resource in general.
Well, we're glad to help.
I'll learn what I can if I can do divination. I'm unsure of what I'll be able to pick out, but I will do my best. One way or the other, I guess we'll be in touch in a few days. I wish you rest, I wish you recovery, and I wish satisfaction with what you are able to achieve here.
I assume everyone starts filing out as the meeting kind of breaks. I'll say, Headmaster, if I could have a few moments of your time, I would appreciate it.
Of course. Is there something I can do for you?
Huh? No, that's your thing. I got my own shit to deal with. I'll wait until we're alone. And then I will summon Parallax, and I'll kind of. I imagine we kind of walk over to like his desk or something. Yeah. Take his head right off.
I've been waiting
to see what happened with the game.
Full murder hobo. I'm in. Yep.
I summon Parallax and lay Parallax down on the desk, and I say, I've had conversations with this being that I know as Parallax, but he or they or I'm not really sure confided in me. Parallax told me that they're part of the Stormseeker Eagle. Am I saying that wrong? Is it Storm Chaser or Stormseeker?
Storm Chaser.
Chaser?
Damn it. Ryan and I flip back and forth when we talk about it. I'm never sure who's right. And they even implied that they might be part of the Alkaline Heart. And I'm going to go with he until he corrects me. He expressed interest in wanting to reconnect.
So humorously, sorry to interrupt. Humorously, the two different myths say Storm Chaser and Storm Seeker. So I'm going to say both are right.
All right. So I guess my question for you is, did you know all of this before you gave Parallax to me? Or where did Parallax come from? Like, what do you have to say for yourself?
He's got a very reclined posture, kind of leaned back with a small smile on his face as you regale this. And he says, honestly, I knew there was an entity in the weapon. I knew it wasn't harmful. And I knew that it was... Hi, Moose. I heard him shake. And I knew that he was seeking someone that could assist, or that could assist him, or it. And I knew from your side, if you don't mind me saying, that you were looking for direction. I thought by pairing two individuals up who were in need, we would see what happened. I wasn't sure where it would go. I'm still not sure where it would go. But I have to beg an old man's, or forgiveness for an old man here, but honestly, kind of wanted to see what would happen.
Well, I can see wisdom in that, kinda. Timeout.
That's the best anyone's ever said about me.
I'm not gonna lie.
Kinda.
I always pictured Simeon as like late 30s, early 40s. No, anybody else?
I didn't picture him as
older.
Around 50. I want to say around 50.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna be
imagine
honest.
50s, 60s.
I was shooting for Dumbledore. In
Oh,
how
shit.
I was,
Oh,
that
kind of
totally changes
portraying.
how I
Yeah,
see
I
him.
was like
I
40.
feel like the
cow.
picture does not
Oh.
give that vibe.
I felt
Wait,
like
where
when
is
we met him, he seemed like the guy who took over after Dumbledore retired.
Did you share the
Like when we
Fair.
met him, it was like the first week he
I-
was in the
I
position.
think we had one. I think we had a picture of him. I want to say
He has
we
like
did.
short.
Yeah,
He has
maybe.
like short,
Like
gray
short
hair,
hair.
doesn't she? Yeah, he has his
Mhm.
short gray hair.
I've got gray
I was
hair.
gonna say some of us go gray pretty quick.
You don't have all gray hair.
Yeah, it's not all. You're right.
It was like
Only
kind
the
of
parts that
blondish
stick
gray in my mind, and I think that's why I was like, oh, he's kind of mid, like 50
Yeah,
or
like I did not get the impression that he is a
Simeon's
like
totally mid.
Dumbledore in the sense that he's like ancient.
I
Like he's
didn't
not
mean-
he's
I
not
didn't
like
mean
the
Dumbledore in terms of
octogenarian.
his looks. I meant Dumbledore in
Just
terms
in
of his
his
demeanor,
behavior.
his
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh sure.
his
No, that's
gravitas. So to
Yes.
Way
speak.
into boys.
you know what? That's very true.
Um,
That's what I was going for in portraying him is Dumbledore-esque.
yeah, now I gotta
Yeah.
talk.
Where's the picture of Simeon?
I don't know that I ever sent one. I know I did say at one point that I realized at the very end of the third adventure that the picture that I used for Lee Sideneth was actually the picture of Simeon.
All right.
And I was like, oh crap. Well, too bad.
Yeah.
I've stuck with it now.
Oh,
So
now I don't feel bad for
No, we
killing
didn't
Lee, and I
know.
love Simeon even more.
What was Lee's picture? What was Lee's picture like?
kind of like what you're describing. I can grab it for you in a second.
Man, you're changing my whole world, Justin.
You're welcome.
Anyway. Well, if I can get a sentence out.
I don't really want to just show it like that though. Because then you're gonna have all the folders and crap.
Well, I'll keep you updated on what I find as I continue to get to know Parallax better, but all I've really ever wanted to do in these adventures is to help. So if I can help Parallax, I would call that a victory. So while we should diminish the potentially reckless nature of your decision, I think that so far it's working out. So thank you for taking a chance on me.
Take a chance, take a chance.
I guess that's it.
Well, before we start doing all of the stuff around town, we'll kind of kick things off next time with that. But with dispersing away from Simeon's location here, in order to start all of your stuff that you're going to do in the next few days while you get prepared for this upcoming trip, I think that is where we will end things for tonight's session.